Hi, Tim. Well, I hope you're doing well this week, and I hope you've had a good week and are happy and healthy right now. You know, I've been doing these little memory lane, I'm calling them memory lane things, and I was thinking about, you remember the time, quite a few years ago when you and I we hiked down the Red Deer River Valley from, let's see, I guess we went from, Campkins Mine, or Trenville as they call it, to the Buffalo Jump, and we stayed 2 nights. And remember that? We had those Mont Blanc yellow backpacks, the big ones. We loaded up and headed down the river, and I think I had brand new hiking boots from Army and Navy. I still use those too, by the way, and they were really good. But we hiked down the river, and the first day we got to, the first evening or late afternoon, we got to Mackenzie Crossing. And do you remember you had an insulin reaction just before we got there? I was walking along through the bush, and all of a sudden behind me I hear this sort of a crash, thud, and I looked back and I couldn't see you. So I walked back, and here you were lying on your back in the long grass with this pack on. You couldn't get up. So I said, well, man, what's wrong? And you said, I said, are you a little low on sugar or something? And no, you weren't low on sugar. You said, it was just that your backpack was, for some reason, was getting awfully heavy, and your feet were sore. So anyway, you got up and put the pack back on. And no, I think, you know what, I carried your pack the last 50 yards or whatever it was to the campground, and you were stumbling along like a drunk man through the bush there. And we got there, and we had some. Then we had some tea with sugar in it, and presto, you were good to go again. Anyway, so and then we set up camp, and we're kind of bored because we got there so early. So remember, we hitched a ride with Jack Prescott. We went out onto the highway and stuck our thumbs out. Jack Prescott came along. We got a ride with him to Big Valley, to the bar. Had a couple of beers. And then Jack headed back to Elnora, so we caught a ride back with him to the campground and bailed into the tent to sleep. And that was the night that a squirrel chewed a hole through our tent and got into the bread and stole a bunch of our bread. We noticed that in the morning. And then we headed on the next day, and we camped, the next night we camped just before Big Valley, not Big Valley, Buffalo Jump. And both those nights, you had said, well, we should make spruce bough mattress under the tent, which we did. And I'd never heard of that before, but you had known about it from, I don't know, some kind of this nature stuff that you do. And so we made these spruce bough mattresses under the tent, and boy, they were really good. I just remember being so impressed. They were so comfortable. And I don't think I've made one since, but I certainly have remembered it. And if I ever get stranded somewhere and there are trees around, I'm going to make a spruce bough mattress, believe me. But that was a really fun hike, and I really enjoyed doing that, up and down the hills along the river there, and came out at the Buffalo Jump, and then, from there back to Elnora. So that was a good memory for me. Listen, I hope you're doing well, again, as I said at the beginning of this, and, don't forget, Tim, a little bit of advice here. Everybody needs something to believe in. I believe. I'll go get myself another beer. Talk to you later.